Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we are reviewing
Aeronautica Imperialis. I picked this up a while ago from a good friend, and it's actually Skies of Fire. I don't know, did I say that? We played it last Friday, and we had a lot of fun. It did take me quite a few hours to assemble these 6 planes, roughly about an hour each, except for the larger ones, which
Two hours.
yeah, about 2 hours between filing and sanding and gluing, and then painting was a whole different story. I think they turned out pretty okay for my first, attempt at painting planes or something in a small scale like this. There's a couple of things I'd like to add on the cockpits, just a little bit of a different tint of sort of a glass-like effect.
And these three are nowhere near done.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
still
this
working
one I
on.
haven't even covered the previous coat that I did.
Those are the Tau aircraft.
And these ones need a lot of touch-ups because it turns out when using a contrast on a contrast paint on a small surface with a big brush, you're gonna make some mistakes.
But he really liked the Tau. I did too. I think they're superior planes.
I think they're inferior, but we'll get to that.
But that was probably from gameplay. Just looking at the numbers, I think the numbers are better. But
Well, speed. These ones are slower, despite the fact that they are described as being not slower.
it comes with a really cool or decent double-sided playmat. That's a nice, reasonable
The night
size.
side is much better.
Yeah, it's a reasonable size, I suppose. It'd be nicer to have 2 of these that were, identical. So I may look around on eBay and see if such things possible to just pick up that. In addition to some of the other things that we'll go into later, the rules are pretty simple. It's a
It would have been nice to be able to learn them.
yeah.
But,
I was
we'll
just
get to that.
I was teaching him summing up things as I usually do to make it as simple as possible. The play cards, sum it all up, but he's not a big fan of reading, so
That's a blatant lie. And I'm being serious. That's a lie.
But it's what 37 pages with a lot of repeating of information, which I suppose it helps drill that in. But it's decent. There's a larger book that I'm hoping has more information, especially since we want to get other planes. I'd like to play the Eldar, and he wants to play the Necrons,
Kind of.
which unfortunately they're only available in resin, but for this particular game, I'm willing to make an exception. Side note, I haven't played or purchased anything besides paints from Games Workshop in many years, but I've been wanting to find a good airplane, dogfight game, because I miss playing Wing Commander on the old console, and this was the first thing I've seen other than picking up Ace of Aces, which we talked about a while ago. But what were your thoughts on the gameplay?
It would have been nice to play. It would have been really fun. But sadly, I couldn't.
I took out one of his planes in the first turn with a single shot. That was just one of those lucky, horrible die roll, things for him. But then he, kept me chasing.
And then after a 3-hour goose chase, he did the exact same thing again.
Yeah,
I didn't land. I shot him multiple times.
Yeah.
At least 10.
Yeah.
He only shot me twice.
Yeah.
And not only hit both times, but crit both times.
Yeah, I rolled the 6 on the to hit, so I got the extra damage, and that just sunk his. We only played with 2 planes each, the 2 smaller fighter craft, and one of the things I like about the game is, in addition to it feeling kind of like chess, back and forth, turn, but the trying to guess or second guess your opponent, I think you enjoyed that part as well.
Yeah.
Looking at the maneuvers that people can make, this card tells you basically the only way you can move is one of these 8 maneuvers, and each maneuver has options, of course. But trying to guess what each other player is going to do, I think
I did some conspiracy theory level tactics on trying to guess what this man was doing.
yeah, he did really good, and he kept me, chasing him for literally, the rest of the 2 hours that we played.
Yeah.
And he made some great moves. And if I hadn't taken out his first airplane in the first turn,
And then the second airplane with one shot. Because he only ever shot me twice.
Yeah.
And both times.
Yeah. Well, no, didn't I shoot and miss once?
Once.
But that was with the other plane.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, trying to guess each other's maneuvers instead of it being really obvious. It's really a lot of fun in that respect. I really enjoyed that part probably the most, trying to figure out what this devious little mind was thinking, and him the same, trying to figure out what we were going to do. And there were some really, I was really proud of him. He made some really good moves, some really tricky maneuvers that I just. There were a couple times both of us almost, flew off the edge of the world, as it were.
I tried to get him to do that multiple times.
Yeah, and I
I
saw it coming, and I'm like, it only leaves me one or two options, and
I knew both of them.
yeah, I'm real fond of the maneuver. What is it? 5, the stall turn, where you just basically. I want to think of it as a loop. You basically do the loop, and you're flying back straight at. Where you came from. That was a big favorite move of mine, because you don't want to have someone tail you and blow you out of the sky from behind when you can't shoot back. Although I think the Tau actually can shoot back on the bigger aircraft. I think it has a 360-degree move. The miniatures are they're Games Workshop quality, and I like the fact that there's a lot of options when it comes to some of the guns. Which, not because of the options, but because I'll get to use them for Gaslands later next month. There's going to be a lot of extra machine guns and things like that I'm running low on. So seeing that was like, hey, I know exactly what I'm going to use that for. But the miniatures are nice. They're they're a little overpriced, I think, when you buy them separately. Buying the box sets is really the way to go if you want to get your feet wet and grab the first box or one of the other boxes. They're all kind of the same, 6 planes, rules, and everything you need to play right out of the box. I think there'll be a lot of playability to a point, because we only played with 2 planes this game. Then the next time we'll play with 3. Then we can move up to 5. We didn't play with any add-ons or any special abilities or anything like that, which he's already anxious to modify the planes, which is another way of being sneaky, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have to tell the opponent that, hey, I got, these special abilities until, you show them your card or whatever. It's like, here, see, I bought this ability. You don't get those victory points or something like that, which, will be, interesting because, I might be able to predict some of it, but when it comes to the special abilities, even though there's only like 6 of them, it's going to be kind of difficult to predict what he will pick or what I will pick. Until we've played a bit, and then we obviously realize, I'm never going to use that one, or I'm always going to use that one.
Yeah.
And anything you want to add before we go into the last part?
Not much. I think. Yeah.
You had fun though, right?
Yes. I would have if I had gotten to play, which I sadly wasn't able to because I
got blown out of the sky.
Well, I had 2 planes.
And you want to play it again, obviously.
Yes.
One of your new favorite games so far?
Yes, I definitely say it's top 10.
Okay. That out of 10, that's cool. And the expansions, like I was talking about a moment ago, they're a little spendy. If you buy them from Games Workshop, like we have a Games Workshop down the street, I definitely wouldn't pick them up there. I look around because a lot of people are trying to be competitive with their prices on Amazon and eBay, and 3 planes for $30 to $40 is kind of steep, but then I was looking at a single individual miniature from Games Workshop of just, an average, like character, and it was like $20 or $30, and I almost laughed my ass out of the store, honestly. It was just like, you've got to be kidding me. But, for a box game, it's different, and if the box sets of planes have the cards that are necessary or the information necessary to actually play the airplanes without having to buy something else, I'll definitely look into it. But for now, it's going to be one of those things that you can You can play in a couple hours. There's not a lot of setup time. There's not a lot of takedown time. You can get stuck right into the game within 10 minutes tops, I think, and including picking all your special abilities and things like that. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. Considering I'm sure it's no surprise that I'm not a huge fan of Games Workshop. I like their paints. I like their lore and their IPs, as it were, but prices, not so much. But other than that, I think we covered it all. Let's call it a night. Say good night to everybody. I want to thank everybody over at Biggest Geekus for giving us the shout outs and coming in and checking out our channel lately. That was really cool talking with you guys. Thanks, Cal, for recommending them. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully, I'll talk to you, Cal, later on, this week. And everybody else, have a great week. I will be back tomorrow with a book review. Let's just put it that way, that the little guy is not looking forward to.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm going to boycott this channel.
But I hope to see you guys then. And then, obviously, Thursday we'll have a craft all on the little guy's shoulders, his idea, his talents.
Yeah, and I have started, and it's almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story. He's sticking with it.
Yeah.
So until next time, folks, we love you guys.
Actually, I think it's going to be one of those crafts where we might actually be able to just start at the beginning and during the video, like we used to do back when we weren't liars. Well, he's the one that titles the videos, not me.
Okay. So have a great week, folks. We will see you real soon.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.